Hey crafters, welcome back to another thrift flip adventure. In today's project, I am finally going to be showing you something that I purchased a while ago and have been working on for a while to finally get it into its wearable state. You guys know we love thrift shopping around here, but oftentimes those garments you get secondhand aren't quite right. Maybe they don't quite fit your body the way you want them to. Maybe they're not quite the style you're going for. They don't quite fit your vision, and you need to do a little DIY magic to thrift flip those garments into something just right for you. In today's video, I will show you a dress that I got secondhand, and I immediately had a vision, had a plan for this dress, even though it's a little different than what I usually go for. So I'm branching out a little bit. And then I got to work on this garment, and turns out I needed to fix a few more things than I thought I was going to have to. And then some of the fixes needed to be fixed. You ever have projects like that? So I'm glad to say I finally have the dress to where I want it to be, and it does fit, and I have worn it, and I actually really like it. So I hope you enjoy this crafty project as well. Maybe roll up your crafty sleeves, get yourself a warm beverage, come along on this thrift flipping journey. I'll show you the garment, talk you through my vision, show you the ups and downs of the DIY process, and then show you the results. See what you think. Was it worth it? Let's dive in and let's get started. Well, when I was shopping, I was looking for a sky blue dress, and that's what I found. Although this one is a little bit more on the robin's egg blue side of things. I really enjoyed the kind of fluffy, romantic-y-ness of the dress. A little retro, looking a little vintage. Definitely something I think we can work with. Although I will say this kind of baby doll style isn't something I usually gravitate towards because it's kind of hard to make it work for my body and my life. So we do have a little bit of work to do, but I think we can work on this. One issue is that I noticed after I bought it, it's actually a maternity dress. So that means our front hemline is a little longer than the back. I think it reaches about 2.5 inches longer at the lowest point in the front. So we'll want to do a little adjusting there. Also, this kind of empire waisted, like the ruching here over the bust line, is cute, but doesn't actually cover my bust line. So I think what I want to do is add a little channel for elastic, kind of maybe a couple inches underneath the ruching into the skirt area, and kind of elongate the bust coverage a little bit, and then bring in the fabric of the skirt kind of under the bust, so that it almost makes like a bit of an empire waistline. Right now, the ruching just kind of sits over my bust line, and the skirt just kind of stands out from my body. I think we want to bring that in towards the body a little bit, so need to finagle a little extra waistline there. But I think actually doing that, like taking away a little fabric here in the front, that might actually help bring up the skirt in the front a little bit. So we'll see. That might help. Also, our big square neckline is cute, but a little accident prone because, those straps are just elasticized, so they can kind of slip off your shoulder. Also, it's a little lower in the front and a little wider on the sides than I would like for normal life. So I got some eyelet. Oh man, I'm not quite sure which of this I want to use. I really liked both, so I got both. Love this double-sided stuff, and it also kind of looks like clouds, which is super cute. Of course, this stuff is just one-sided, but I was thinking I could potentially fold this in half and make like a double ruffle, maybe, and add some of that potentially around the neckline, up over the shoulders and across the back. And then, depending on how much we have left, we could also add like at least one big old ruffle on the bottom, that would help take care of another problem I have, that this is also a little shorter than I normally go for. So we definitely have our work cut out for us, but I think I kind of have a vision. I think it's going to work. Well, we definitely have enough to start working with here. I think I'll work on adding that elastic to the top and try to adjust that first, and then maybe work on a little lace. We'll see how it goes. Let's just dive in and get started. Hey guys, well, update time. We did get the tube for elastic put in the front of the dress, but even with that shortening things up by about an inch, the front skirt was still too long compared to the back. So you can tell we did a little trimming, and now I've made what's going to be a rolled hem at the bottom. Need to iron that down and stitch it. Next, we need to add some lace. Of course, we're going to be adding some to the bottom and then some over the shoulders and to the front, possibly back necklines as well. I may end up layering the two different types of lace together or folding the wider lace to make like a double ruffle. We'll see. I got all sorts of ideas. So let's get to hemming and then let's deal with some lace. Well, hey guys, after lots and lots of pinning of this lace on the bottom, I found I made a really big goof. Yeah, I cut the lace too short. You can tell by all my lovely pen marks and my patch job here. Thankfully, I had enough extra lace to insert a lace patch there in the back to extend the lace. The lace was only about 2 inches too short. But I kind of made that panel a little bigger so I could kind of center it on the back seam as best as I could. I don't know. That was very sad. I think what happened was this fabric is kind of ruffly and crinkly, and when you pull it or just kind of like lay it super flat, like when you're pinning on the lace, it stretches. And I'm pretty sure that's what I did. I stretched it when I was pinning it, but I didn't stretch it enough when I was measuring it. So thank goodness I had enough lace and I could patch it, but sometimes it do be like that. Okay, I think we're finally pinned on there. And I'm going to be sewing it. Yes, I am sewing it from the front of the garment because I just wanted it to peek out nicely from under that front hem. And I was able to line up the hem with the little scallopy edge that we made, folding over the bottom lace a little bit. So that helped me line it up, which was handy. Okay, time to sew. Well, hey guys, it has been a while since I have worked on this dress and shown it to you, so it is time to catch up. I have made some changes to it, and I have actually worn it. One thing you might notice are these little cloud shapes on the skirt. I needed this dress for a costume, and I needed it for a Pixar-themed costume. So I tried to create kind of an homage to the Up house. You know, the house with the balloons. Well, my first job was to try to find a dress, you know, those kind of blue and sky like. So this dress was perfect for that, especially with all the lace we added. I did want to add some very direct cloud references though. So I basically drew some clouds on paper and cut them out of this nice light white-ish fabric. I ended up just doing a zigzag stitch around the clouds and then hand sewing them onto the skirt. My original plan was that I was just going to keep them there for the costume event and then take them off when I filmed the final product of this dress for you guys. But I don't know, they're kind of growing on me. I mean, they are kind of cheesy as well. Very, very cutesy. A little costumey. But they're kind of cute. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I will try to insert a photo, probably somewhere over here, of what I looked like in my costume. I did end up making a hat, a headpiece of some nature. Let me put this down. Let me show it to you up close. Okay, so I didn't film this hat making process because I didn't know what I was doing. I started with a cardboard hat. I ended up having to order this online. You used to be able to find these all over craft stores, but I could not get one except online, and it does come apart. I had to glue it closed. The balloon bunch is a whole bunch of pom-poms glued to a paper mache circular Christmas ornament base, also from the craft store. The whole thing is floating on a very makeshift base of felt. I kind of tried to make some concentric rings so that it would be a bit higher in the middle and then get a little bit lower as the sides went out. I just made a tube for my headband. And then I did attach some ribbon to the sides. Keeping this thing on my head was very challenging. I definitely needed the headband. I definitely needed the strap to go under my neck. And then I used bobby pins to pin the felt down. That was one advantage to having this kind of floppy felt base, is that I could bobby pin it to my head. And then the somewhat loosely glued in batting helped hide the bobby pins a little bit. Overall, it was cute. It fit the vibe. It was a little cutesy. But it definitely was a little floppy. Had a hard time staying on my head. So I don't totally recommend it, but it did get the message across. Let's look a little closer at the dress. And I think we actually have a little more work to do. Let me show you. Okay, let's talk necessary adjustments, you guys. I found when I was wearing the dress that this neckline insert needed some improvements. The lace was actually too high up the neckline. Like, I needed something there. I needed to raise the neckline, but it's too high. Especially with this kind of empire waist and this fluffy stuff across the bodice. The neck looks too high. It almost kind of looks like a doll dress or like a baby dress. A kid's dress, I guess. It just looks out of proportion. And I think what I want to do is just basically lower it down maybe like an inch so that the kind of base of the scallops is basically lining up or close to lining up with the top of the neckline. Should have pinned it on and tried it on before I sewed it on. Note to self. Note to self. Unfortunately, one other issue with this panel is I actually wish I had made it longer, and I may be able to actually take a little of its seam allowance on the inside and make it a little longer, because these shoulder straps, basically the edge of the sleeves, they kind of need to be able to move a little bit when you put the dress on or when you bring your shoulders back. As is, I kind of, I stabilized them. I glued them into place basically by putting this panel in between them. So when you move your shoulders, this pulls and you kind of feel like you wish you had a little more give in that area, but you don't have it anymore. So I think I need to take out some of this hand sewing. Since I put the shoulder panel on last, I'll need to remove some of that so that then I can access the front panel. And I'll unstitch it, lower it back down. Maybe I can add a little bit of length to it if I take out a little bit of its seam allowance on the sides, and then stitch back on. Yeah. So that's going to take a little while. But I'm going to go do that. And then I'll show you when it's officially done and when I decide to wear it. See you in a bit. And with that, you guys, we finally have our thrift flip dress in its final form. I'm pretty pleased with these results. I think this is very cute, very unique, definitely more wearable than when I first got this dress. But this one definitely took some work. Took more work than I thought it would. And then I needed to correct my sewing mistakes more than a few times. So yeah, this one took quite a while, more than I thought it would. But sometimes it's like that. When you're working with a thrifted item and you have a vision, you just gotta keep going sometimes until you get it the way you want it. But I think we made it. If you guys get behind thrifting your own clothes and turning them into something you love, something totally unique to you, give this video a big thumbs up, will ya? And consider subscribing for more fun stuff from Partners in Craft. We are always doing something crafty around here. Big shout out also to our subscribers for the likes, comments, and the shares. That really does make a big difference around here. So thank you. I'm going to put an outfit together and take this dress outside and give it its moment to shine. And of course, I'll take you along and show you what this looks like when we're done.